In this practice, we're going to move the body through some stretches and some postures, all the time seeing if it's possible to maintain a moment-to-moment awareness of the body as we do so. So, finding a time and a place where you can be by yourself and you won't be interrupted, away from the phone with your phone switched off, and where you can lie down on the floor on a thick rug or a yoga mat. And it's important while you're doing this not to think of this as a competition with yourself. So not getting competitive with yourself and watching out for any urges to make these postures as stretched or as good as you can make them. But really letting go of all of those desires for things to be a particular way, and just moving your body through the positions as we go through these movements and stretches. This is really a vehicle for exploring all the sensations in your body as you go through these movements. So it's really important not to try too hard, as if it were a matter of achievement or success or failure. And it's important to listen to and respect your own body and its limits, as well as exploring these with curiosity and a kindly and friendly interest to your experience of your body as you move in this way. Your body will tell you how much of a stretch or a posture to do. And if you have any physical problems that may interfere with this, then asking your doctor or your physical therapist before you do some of these postures. So if you find some of them difficult, then just sitting them out and just imagining that you're doing them, or moving up to the edge of the movement and remaining there. Wherever the body winds up, just exploring the edges of this posture. If you do this practice regularly, then you will no doubt find the limits of your body changes from day to day, and there's no need to push against those limits right now. And as we do this practice, exploring with the eyes open sometimes, and sometimes with them closed, and just noticing the difference between these two states. So lying on your back now, with your arms alongside but not touching the body, and your legs out straight but relaxed, with the feet falling gently away from each other, back of your head resting on the floor. Becoming aware of the sensations of your body as a whole as you just lie here, not trying to get anywhere, just being in and with your body, just as it is right now. Nowhere to go. Focusing on the sensations as you breathe. Zooming into the precise quality of the sensations down in the abdominal cavity, down in the belly, as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And on the out breath, just letting go of any tension that there may be in your body. Noticing any sense of holding or tensing in the body, and just relaxing into the floor, into the mat or rug. Acknowledging that this is holding your body and supporting your body, and that you can just let go. No effort is required to just be here. And breathing as you lie here. And now when you're ready, on an in-breath, moving your arms up above your head, with the arms straight, so they're pointing towards the ceiling, the fingertips towards the ceiling, and then continuing on their journey until they're stretching out above your head, the backs of the hands on the floor, the arms on the floor, and the arms just stretching out above you. And also with a sense of stretch through the body, right down through the trunk of the body and through the legs, as the heels stretch in the opposite direction. So just giving your body a stretch. And just tuning into what's happening with the breath as you hold this position. Any sense in which the breath has moved up into the chest. Or noticing if you're holding the breath. And just opening up to what sensations are here as you hold this posture. And then on an out breath, bringing the arms back up towards the ceiling, over the head, until they are lying alongside the body again. But very gently, very gradually, so that it takes several breaths to do so, not rushing. All the time remaining in contact with the sensations of this movement. I'm just noticing how it feels in the body now that it's gone through this stretching. What particular sensations are here to be felt in the arms and through the body. And now just sliding your feet up towards your buttocks, with the knees towards the ceiling. So in a kind of upside down V shape that your legs are making. And we're going to just tilt the pelvis. So with the feet about a hip's width apart, and your lower back in contact with the mat. And just tilting the pelvis by moving the tailbone down towards onto the mat, so that the small of the mat back makes a gentle arch. So that if you choose to, you can just slide your hand underneath and just to feel the gap that the back of the lower back is making the arch here. And just holding this position and breathing with it. And just removing the hand from the small of the back. And noticing now what happens if you tilt the pelvis in the other direction, so that the tailbone very slightly lifts off the floor, as the small of the back makes contact now with the floor. And then now just gently rocking from one position to the other. Rocking and tilting the pelvis, just gently, perhaps in time with your breathing. So breathing in for one movement and breathing out for the other movement. Now coming to rest, and bringing your knees towards your chest. So tightening the tummy muscles just to lift the knees towards the chest, and moving your arms to hold your thighs just under the knees, so the back of the thighs, and just very gently squeezing the thighs and the knees towards the chest. Just as far as they want to go right now. And just beginning to rock from side to side so that you're giving your spine just a gentle massage against the floor. Just feeling the changing pattern of sensations here as you do this. And if you choose to, then perhaps bringing up your head towards your knees. Perhaps moving now your body against the floor in just a small circular motion as well as side to side. So really tuning into the sensations that are here to be noticed when your body makes contact with the floor in this way. And coming to rest, and then just lowering the head, shoulders back onto the floor, and just allowing the knees and the legs to come back down so that you're back in the starting position of lying on your back with your legs out straight and your arms by your side. And tuning in when resting in this way to your body, in touch with the sensations, whatever they are. And noticing the sensations of the breath moving in and out of the body. And now bringing your left thigh and knee towards the chest, so just the left thigh and knee, just moving it and taking hold of it under the knee, the back of the thigh, and just squeezing it towards the chest, and however far it comes, that's how far it needs to for you in this moment. Noticing any urge or desire to pull it further, and just allowing it to come where it comes to right now. And lifting your head and noticing the effects on your breathing as you lift your head and shoulders back up towards the knee. Just breathing here. And then bringing the head and shoulders back down onto the mat. And gently just lowering your foot, your leg back down. Sliding the foot out so that your left leg is alongside your right. And just noticing the difference between each leg now as you lie here. And just repeating this now then with the right leg, so bringing your right knee and thigh up towards the chest, gently squeezing it up towards the chest, not forcing, letting go of any urge to push or any sense of competition with yourself. What sensations are here in this moment? And as you lift your head and shoulders, bringing your face towards your right knee, noticing any tensing in the stomach muscles as you need to do this, and noticing where your breath is right now. Tightening the tummy muscles, you just lower your head and shoulders back to the floor, and then sliding out the right foot so that your leg is lying out straight and that you're back in the starting position. best as you can, allowing yourself to be just as you are in this moment, allowing your body to be just as it is, just expanding awareness into and throughout your body. Tuning into what's here right now. And just breathing into your body. Now turning over. So what you're doing now is coming up onto all fours so that your knees are underneath your hips, supporting your body, and your palms, flats of your hands, are underneath your shoulders with your arms out straight, so that you're making this tabletop position on all fours now. And we're just going to give the back a stretch, arching the back upwards. So as you breathe out, arching the back upwards so that you're making this stretch, curving the spine upwards. It's like a Halloween cat. And as you do so, your head just comes between your shoulders, and your tailbone tucks in slightly, giving the back a really good stretch. And then moving the back in the opposite direction, so that the back comes back down again, and so that the belly and back is kind of hanging down slightly, almost in the opposite direction, arching, but not too much in the other direction. And then just repeating the stretch of the back up. So arching the back up, giving it a really good stretch. And all of the sensations here as you do this. And then just gently lowering the back in the other direction. And back to all fours, the tabletop position. And just now moving your weight, your body over to your right leg and arm. And as you do so, in this balancing and strengthening posture, just lifting the left leg out so that the toes are pointing out behind you with your left leg up. And as you do this, just lifting your right hand and arm out in front of you, so it's almost like a sort of half Superman pose here, looking out over the fingertips of your right hand, balancing on your left hand and your right knee in this strengthening, stretching posture. Noticing where your breath is now as well as you hold this awkward pose. And then bringing the left knee back and the right hand so that you're back in the tabletop position, and then just stretching out the back again, the cat stretch. Just to give that back a good stretch again. And then just coming back to all fours and just moving the weight over to the left hand side of your body now, to your left knee, as you then lift up the right leg so that the toes, the foot is pointing out away from the body, as you then lift your left hand and arm so that it's pointing out in front of you, again in this Superman pose, looking out over the fingers, your left hand. And just holding this position here and breathing into it and with it. And coming back to all fours again, so bringing your left hand under your shoulder and your right knee, and just having another cat stretch. And coming back down to all fours, and then just turning over to come back to the starting position, lying on your back. Coming to rest here. And we're going to move through some pelvic tilts again now. So bringing up your feet towards your buttocks and just tilting the pelvis, so moving the tailbone down onto the mat so that there's a small arch in your lower back. And then as you breathe out, just tilting the pelvis in the other direction, just ever so slightly, so the lower back comes onto the floor and the tailbone just ever so slightly lifts up. And just going through these movements, just rocking the pelvis gently in this way, in time with the in-breath and the out-breath. Noticing if there's any movements anywhere else in the body as you rock the pelvis in this way. And just now drawing your knees to your chest, squeezing them towards the chest. Feeling any sensations or stretching in the lower back as you do this. And if you choose to, bringing your head, shoulders up towards the knees, drawing them up. And then just rocking from side to side, massaging the back against the floor, and then just in circles. And then lowering the head and shoulders back to the floor and just stretching out the legs and the arms by the side of your body. So you're back in the starting position with nowhere to go. Being here in your body and with your body. And now we're going to just move the feet up towards your buttocks, and this time just slightly wider than before. And we're going to move into a half bridge posture now. So just lifting the pelvis and the hips just up towards the ceiling, so that your body is supported by the bottom of your feet and your shoulders. And there's lots of space to breathe here. And noticing sensations, perhaps particularly in your thighs as you hold this position, this stretch. And just breathing with the sensations and down into the abdomen. And if you need to lower your body at any point, then doing this if that's what's right for you in this moment. And also perhaps just really noticing what happens if you open up to the sensations of intensity here. Exploring them with curiosity before coming back down now then. Bringing your back to the floor with your knees still pointing up to the ceiling. Just resting in this position. And bringing your feet closer together so that your knees are touching. And moving your hands up now then underneath your head so that the back of your head is resting on your hands with your fingers laced. And we're just going to twist the body over, but gently, so just tightening the tummy muscles as you let your knees just move over, just start to move towards the floor, towards the left, your left knee moving towards the floor. And your right knee and right leg may follow, or it may just hang here, and wherever it winds up is fine. And then just turning your head and looking out over your right elbow. So there's a twist across the body now, and down through and into the legs and knees. And on an out breath, just allowing your knees just to relax further towards the floor, increasing that stretch across the body, through the trunk and torso. And just breathing here. And then just turning the head back up to look towards the ceiling as you just tighten the tummy muscles in order to just bring the knees back up so that they're facing or pointing towards the ceiling, and then just continuing by rolling the knees over towards the right side so that your right knee is coming towards the floor as you simultaneously look out over your left elbow. So feeling the stretch now, then twisting through the body as you breathe, relaxing further into the floor, just allowing the body to let go, sinking further as you breathe out, and just resting here. And then tightening the tummy muscles as you bring the knees back up, and as you move your head so that you're looking up towards the ceiling or with your eyes closed, whatever you choose, and just sliding the feet out now back into the starting position so that you're lying now with your arms alongside your body and the legs out straight. Being curious about what sensations are here now in the body, allowing them to just be as they are. Opening up to the body right now. And now bringing your right knee up towards the ceiling so that your right foot is close to your left knee. So just your right knee is up in that upside down V shape. And just breathing here for a moment. And taking a deeper breath. And on the out breath, tightening your tummy muscles and lifting your left leg in a straight line towards the ceiling, or as far as it goes in that direction. So wherever it ends up, is where it ends up, and this is fine. There's no need to try and push through any limits that your body is experiencing at this point. And noticing any intense sensations, and if these are here, perhaps down the back of the leg or in the rest of the body, then exploring what happens as you breathe into these sensations. And if you want to increase this stretch, then perhaps just putting your hands around the back of your thigh and just gently moving your left knee, your left leg, just further up towards the ceiling, if that's something that you choose to do. And breathing into the sensations. And if you choose to, lifting your head and shoulders up towards the knee, just to increase that stretch. Noticing the breath here, and then lowering them back down. And just rotating the left foot now then in small circles, in one direction, and then in the other. And increasing the stretch now then down the back of the left leg, just by flexing the foot, as if you're making a footstep, an imprint of the foot on the ceiling. And noticing the changing pattern of sensations as you do this. And then when you're ready, lowering the left leg towards the floor very slowly, mindfully, so that it takes several breaths, all of the time, staying in contact with the sensations here, as if you're operating a crane that was lowering this very heavy but delicate object towards the floor. And noticing the sense of relief in the mind and release in the body as the floor takes over the job of supporting the weight of your leg here. And now we're just going to repeat with the right leg, so bringing the left knee up into the upside down V, so the left foot up to towards the buttocks, and then lifting the right leg up towards the ceiling or as far as it will go. Noticing the sensations here, and then perhaps just increasing the stretch if you choose to by using the hands to put them around the back of the right thigh and gently squeezing the right leg further towards the ceiling, and lifting the head and shoulders towards the right knee if you choose to. Then lowering the head and shoulders back to the floor, and then just rotating, just making small circles from the ankle, using the ankle to rotate the right foot in one direction, and then back in the other direction. And flexing the right foot now, increasing the stretch down the back of the right leg. And then pointing the right foot. So flexing and pointing the foot, and just noticing how it feels in the leg as you do this. Noticing any struggle with this posture, and holding this position, and now just gently lowering the right leg all the way down, very slowly, mindfully, all the way down, until it's resting alongside the left leg. And just resting here now, an awareness of the body, now that it's gone through these stretches. Noticing how it feels, any particular sensations that are especially noticeable now. And just lying here breathing with them. And then now just turning over until you're lying on your tummy. Lying on your stomach, on the front of your body, with your face against the floor, either your right cheek or your left cheek, it doesn't matter. With your, just looking in one direction, just resting in this way. And allowing your body just to sink into the mat as you breathe out. And the breathing can be obvious, more obvious in this position, the changing pressure and contact with the floor as you breathe in and out here. And just lying here in touch with the sensations of breathing here. And keeping the hips and the hip bones in contact with the floor. I'm just going to lift the right leg in a straight line in front of you, but first of all, behind you, but first of all just turning your chin and your face so that your chin is just resting on the floor, and then stretching out your right leg behind you, just lifting your right leg with your toes pointing away. Just a very small lift here of just a few inches, and just feeling the stretch through the leg and through the body. And then just lowering the right leg, and then turning the face, resting it on the floor, and just resting here for a moment and breathing. Opening up to the sensations in the body. And then now just turning the face so that the chin is resting on the floor, and stretching the left leg out away, but keeping both hips and hip bones on the floor, so we're not twisting away or tilting the body, but just lifting and stretching the left leg out away behind you with the toes pointing away. And coming to rest, turning the face to rest on the floor and lowering the left leg. And turning over so that you're back in the corpse position, and or back in the position of lying on your back with the arms alongside your body. The legs out straight, and just do some pelvic tilts, so bringing the knees back up and just rocking the pelvis gently in one direction and then in the other with your breath. Then coming to rest and lying back in the starting position. And lying here breathing, aware of sensations, the whole of your body, a sense of coming home to your body and allowing your body to be as it is, simply lying here breathing. And bringing this sense of acceptance and wholeness with you as you end this practice and resume the activities of your day, as your life continues to unfold from moment to moment.